Yes.
Is it just you joining the call today, or will others be joining as well?
Yeah, it'll just be me.
Okay, great. Well, thanks so much for taking the time today to want to learn about Seek Out, and I appreciate your flexibility with rescheduling and everything. My plan for us today, what I wanted to do is, learn more about your organization, poked around your website a bit. It seems like a really interesting company, being able to recruit for or work for startups to recruit tech talent. That's exactly what we help, recruiting teams do. So I'm really excited to just learn more about your organization and, how long you've been around, and learn just a little bit more about what your goals are also when it comes to working with your clients and just as your company also. And then we can get into Seek Out as well and show you just how it works as a user. Does that sound like an okay agenda today?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Great, perfect. Also, I'm just curious, how did you find out about Seek Out?
So we ended up learning about you at the tech staffing event a couple weeks back.
Okay.
And at that, I met your founder and saw the product, and in particular, liked what I saw. And so I've been able to try it out. And, it seems like it's pretty straightforward. So
Yeah.
we're always looking for technologies that, help us improve what we do in terms of delivery.
Uh-huh.
And so that's kind of what I guess got our interest in your product.
Yeah, great. So right now, what types of tools is your team currently using to help hire for your clients?
Right now, we're using a number of different tools. LinkedIn is one. Another product called Signal Hire is another. Another product is just our internal database. We also, let's see, we've used some of the different job boards that are out there. Indeed, different postings, things of that nature. So we kind of, we're using, in addition to those, Hiring Solved, which is another platform.
Right.
So it's, I think for us, the key things are being able to do searches that are more diversity focused. And so that was kind of a differentiator, I think, for what you guys had. The other part of it is we like systems that don't just give us the corporate emails. And so it looks like yours does a pretty good job of getting personal emails.
Yes.
So those are some of the things, at least that are interesting to us. We're always looking for a competitive edge. When we were working with Talent Bin, which was acquired by Monster 6 years ago, nobody else, the early adopters were trying it, but because not a lot of the masses were using it, we had a pretty good advantage.
Okay.
And so that was something that was a lesson for us, which was always keep your eyes open for new technologies and new platforms, because it might give you a little bit of an edge as you grow. And so that's kind of where what made us want to go to that event, and then also what made us want to try different technologies like yours.
Great. Well, that's great to hear. Now, how many, I guess, does it work like you have a certain amount of people on like an account for your client? Like, I guess my question is like, how many recruiters do you have?
Yeah, it's a good question. We're pretty nimble. The picture on the website doesn't
Yeah, okay, because I wasn't sure if that was the whole team or like.
Yeah, it doesn't reflect our team size. That actually comes from one of our clients who has a technology, a platform that you can buy photos, like online photos, but they're more authentic, and they're not more authentic from the perspective that they're real people taking them with like iPhones and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so we were like, okay, yeah. They're like, hey, why don't you guys use this photo? We're like, sure. So, but we do get asked that a lot, like, how big is your team? And so we're pretty nimble. I mean, to be transparent with you, I'm the owner, so I'm one of the lead recruiters slash sourcers.
Okay.
We have another recruiter, and then also more of like an administrator, and we have a handful of other people that do different stuff, but they're not in the work.
Okay.
So yeah, so for us, it's important to understand how it prices out because we've already spent, a fair amount of money on, 4 different systems already. So if we were to look at this one, we would actually replace another one. So we would
Right.
probably stop using one of the other ones,
Yeah.
allocate funding for something new like this.
Right. And what subscription are you on with LinkedIn? Are you using LinkedIn Recruiter? Like their
Yeah, we're using LinkedIn Recruiter.
Gotcha. Okay, great. And then I forgot one other question I wanted to ask you, but I'm blinking. Okay, makes sense. Okay, well, thanks for just giving me that background and sharing that with me. Let's get into the demo portion of everything, but before we start off on that, also, I'm just kind of curious, how has your experience been so far using Seek Out, just on your own and not seeing a demo yet?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
Okay.
I think the simplicity of it is like, and they're all kind of similar. I think the one thing that is more unique is just the filtering and being able to get candidates that are more, not just your typical candidates, but you actually have options to filter out by gender, by race, by, things that you typically aren't able to do. And then more importantly, being able to look at, well, how do you connect with the candidates out of GitHub? Because I do know that we're in the tech side. And
Yep.
so that's a pretty big advantage, I think. Give you something to talk about, I guess, with them.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, just kind of curious on your just experience so far.
The question I did have though was on the social network side. Didn't have a lot of luck with that. And maybe you can walk me through that.
I would love to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to just kind of give you an overview right now, and then we can dive, deeper into specific features of it also. Just to make sure that you have a good overview of everything, and then we can do some follow-up questions after that also.
Yeah, perfect.
So, and are you able to see my screen right now? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
To go. Okay, great. So just to give you a little bit of background on Seek Out, I'm not sure how much you were able to speak with our founder at the tech staffing event, but we're based out of Seattle, and we've been around for almost 2 years now. Our CEO is Anup Gupta. He was, a Microsoft executive and served as the technical advisor to Bill Gates as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then also our co-founder is Arvind Bala, and he was actually the main contributor to Bing search engine. So,
really?
Yeah. So the two of them, and I can, I would look them up on LinkedIn, and I can send you their LinkedIn profiles later today as well. I mean, Anup, was a professor at Stanford in computer science for 10 years also. He also was, one of the inventors of Skype for Business also, which he sold to Microsoft in the late 90s. Yeah. So quite a credible people that have built this product, really smart. So what the two of them have created for recruiting teams is really a people search engine. This is really like a Google for recruiting teams, and being able to, source talent really easily because of the work that we do with, analyzing and indexing public profiles. We look at, GitHub contributions, the repositories, and then we also look at social networks as well. But really, this is designed also like on the sourcing side of things and the research part of recruiting process, but also being your one-stop shop for recruiting, where you can actually organize your candidates into projects. You're able to get their contact information, just emails and social networks, no phone numbers, and then also being able to actually run campaigns within the platform as well. So really just taking you from the whole, sourcing side of things all the way, to the interview side of things and getting the candidates' attention in the door.
Well, actually, can you hold on 1 second? Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. No worries at all.
Yeah, I've got a little boy who
Oh,
accidentally pushed the fire alarm and got
oh,
scared. So
oh, yeah, I can imagine. Uh,
anyway, so okay, that sounds great. I'm with you.
yeah, so so we source talent from three different pools of talent. Okay, so when I refer to public profiles, I'm referring to people that have made their LinkedIn profiles public, but just in the U.S. and Canada. So that's
Yeah.
about 116 million candidates that way.
Hmm.
Looking at GitHub also, so about 13 million candidates this way, but this is worldwide. So I'm finding talent that way. And then the social networks also. Now, social networks is not going to be as strong as our public profiles in GitHub. This is really kind of acts like a Google X-ray search. And basically, if you're having a hard time maybe finding a candidate through their public profile or GitHub, this can sometimes be a useful way to get a hold of them and look at their profiles, especially sometimes with designers, if you see down here, they'll put their portfolio in a Dribbble or Behance folder rather than on their LinkedIn profile, right?
Yeah.
So that can come in handy at times, but to be, completely transparent, it's definitely not our strength.
And so if you're for example, I try to do Ruby on Rails and went into a meetup, but I think it took me to the meetup, but I couldn't really access anything once I was there.
Well, you actually, within social networks, you actually have to choose just one.
Okay.
So you can't just do a general search. You have to choose a network to look at.
So if you went to Meetup.
Yeah, let's try Meetup here.
And just put I don't know, Ruby on Rails, Orange County or something.
So this is what we got here.
So once you're in there, what can you, does it pull can you get an email or anything, or is it just you can see who they are, but you can't do much once you're?
Yeah, so with this, yeah, exactly. So you're able to just go to their profile, kind of just see a glimpse here, maybe contact them through that social network, but you're not going to get the email address in this social.
You're not going to get that, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So definitely not our strength.
Yeah, that's not really valuable to me, but I hear you.
Yeah, totally. So what I want to start off the demo with is a feature called Insights. So have you played around with this yet?
No.
Okay. So this is really unique, and because we analyze public profiles, we're able to get all of this data to help with your recruiting strategy. So I could actually get basically a visual query of the talent out there. So I could, look at a certain company. I could use a company and a title, maybe a title and location. But just for example purposes, what I would love to do is just, type in a keyword. So let's say that I am curious about the talent pool of a data scientist. Mm-hmm. And all of this supports keyword searches, Boolean searches, as well as then you have all the filtering options down to the left too, right? Mm-hmm. So data scientists. So what we can do here, we can see, okay, where are most of these people located? What's the current company that they're at? So maybe you want to hold an event somewhere. Maybe you need to be looking at a company more closely that your recruiting team hasn't been doing. Maybe you need to be looking at a different title. So just having data to support your sourcing strategy, and especially when it comes to working with your clients and kind of being able to provide them with this type of data is really valuable. So, yeah. We can narrow this down though even. So let's just say that I only want to look at data scientists that are actually at Facebook. So now I can see, okay, most of these people are located in the Bay Area. They possess, the data scientist title. Just a lot of valuable information here that you can take and adjust your your strategy, or maybe, your strategy's working. Maybe I want them to have the skill C++, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe you can look into years of experience, the years in the role. I mean, you can get really, really granular here by looking at the talent pool here.
Mm-hmm.
And then here, maybe I want them to be, just in this role for 5 to 10 years. So then as we scroll back up, what we can do here, we can actually go and view these candidates this way when you create a pool that way. So People Insights works also really well if you're recruiting for like a role that you're not really familiar with also. Maybe like a geologist or something, and just being able to get that information and have data to support your decisions is quite valuable, especially just, when you do look at like competitive analysis and market research. Seek Out providing that for you is really helpful to people.
Mm-hmm.
So did that make all sense right there, the insight part?
Yeah, I didn't really even use that at all. I didn't really think.
You should definitely explore it. It's really, it's interesting, the things that you'll find out that you kind of thought, I thought most of these people majored in computer science, but maybe they actually, majored in like business management. So you can find some really cool findings for sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So then, of course, here, you saw all of our filtering options here within the public profiles. You can narrow all of this down by location. To go over our diversity filters now, just to kind of give an explanation of what we do here at Seek Out. In order to find like female talent, basically what we do is for the female population, we've taken 1 million of the most common female names from the census and actually have built a query so that talent shows up for us. Mm. And then with the Hispanic population, we also look at the 10,000 most common first and last names and build a query that way. Veterans is a little easier as they would, report that they're in the Army on a public profile. And then with the African American population, we're looking at universities, colleges, fraternities, sororities, and other like professional networks that they might be a part of. And then let's just say also that, diversity, I know diversity is an important topic to you. So what's really cool also is we have this feature called blind hiring mode. And if I turn this on, it turns everyone's face to a cat and just gives me their first and last name initial. You'll also see here that it's hiding the email addresses as well. So you as a sourcer, as you're recruiting, you could avoid any biases that might be happening.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so that can be really useful too. So that's like the public profile part. So just for example purposes though, let's say that I was recruiting for data scientists, in the I don't know, let's just say San Francisco Bay Area. It's a talent pool about 299 people. So let's just say that this page looks good for me. What I'll want to do is I'll want to add them to a project. And you can create as many projects as you want. So we'll say data scientist, or we'll say Bay Area. And then all of your projects will just live up here. And then within our projects, we have a feature called AI recommendations. So what this is going to do, and this is really about automating your process to getting more people in your project, the system is now automatically going to refer me people that are going to be people I haven't seen yet, but are going to be similar to the people in the project. So I can look at this, okay, yes, this person looks good, add to project, good, maybe the next one's not a good fit. So the system's just going to keep getting smarter and smarter as you deny people and approve people into the project.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, does that make sense?
So again, once you're into your project, you just go to review recommendations.
Yep. So once you're in a project, the AI recommendations will pop up to your left. This is only available to you in a project.
Got it. Okay. And so that's helping the system become smarter about what we're looking for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And when you hit yes or a thumbs up or thumbs down, does it add like a thumbs up next to that one candidate so then you can go back and look at all the thumbs up candidates, or is that different than like statuses?
Yeah, that's a great question. We don't have that, but that's an interesting point. I think I'll definitely let my product team know that, because that would be actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that's great. I've got about 5 more minutes before I got to jump into the call. But in terms of, so that's great because those are things that I didn't see that I had here. In terms of being able to view like candidates on a list, so you have 1 to 25 listed here. Is there an option to see like 100 at a time, or is it? I think there was, but I just wasn't sure if there was an option there.
I apologize for my scroll down here. What's that? So you think we're pretty, so show 25, yeah, so you can show 100 results per page.
Okay. And then is there a way to, once you're scrolling, say you're at the bottom of the page at 100, being able to go back up to the top without having to scroll all the way back up?
No, there's not.
Okay, because that was.
But I can make that recommendation to my team.
Yeah, I would recommend. That's an easy fix. You put it just back to top button at the bottom.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Yeah, I would put that recommendation.
Okay, cool. Okay, anything else that I should be?
So you know that you would just grab all their information and then you'll export all, and you can put this into. I just want to show you this real quick. Once you get the information, you can export the information into your ATS or CRM system. We also have a direct API with Greenhouse. I'm not sure, what kind of CRM or ATS you're using, but most APIs are pretty possible as well.
Yeah. Our API or our company, the ATS that we use is called CATS. C-A-T.
Okay.
CATS 1. I don't know. Do you guys integrate with that?
I will have to ask. I will ask on that. I'll ask my team on that. But yeah, for some reason, nothing integrated. You can always just have it. Once you have the export, it will go into a CSV file, and you can put this into your ATS or CRM system.
So on the export and the get info, do you need to do the get info first and then export? Yeah. Okay.
You need to do get info first, and then you'll export, and then all of this information now is available to you at a click of a button here. So you'll see that we have verified emails. That means that these won't bounce and they're on the server. One thing that I want to point out now is in the public profile part, we're getting about 80 to 85% of personal email addresses. Now with GitHub, when you do the search in GitHub, we're getting about 95 to 99% of personal email addresses. So really valuable with tech talent.
And just walk me through the GitHub search to make sure I was doing that right.
Yeah, let's walk you through this real quick. So just basically to give you just a little overview of what we do here is we actually analyze and index the contributions and repositories on GitHub. So knowing what they're about, how impactful they've been as well. And then we actually merge their GitHub profile with their LinkedIn profile so that we can actually locate these people and find them by location, past title, universities, etc. We give them an overall Seek Out Coder score by our work of like looking at their code actually, and then rating their expertise in a language as well. Okay. And then also their GitHub profile will be available to you here, their LinkedIn profile. You'll actually also be able to click on their code in here too, so that if you did want to take this to a hiring manager, if you just click on this before they come in for a whiteboard interview, that's available to you to send over.
Yeah, I like that idea because I'm not a coder. I was just wondering like what contributions would make sense if we were to send it to a hiring manager where he would look at it and say, or she would look at it and say, yeah, that's valuable to see. Or like, if it's, if it's just like something super basic that they would think like, this doesn't mean anything to us. So I guess that's the only area of credibility I'm not sure about. Of how to use it really.
Okay. Yeah, totally.
Anyway. That's, I don't know if
I
there's
mean,
an answer to that. I'm just,
yeah, I mean, obviously, just like if we can click into the code, being able to look at it, it really depends on the role that you're recruiting for and what your hiring manager is asking.
mm.
So, we can, but this is available to them that you can send over, right?
So I could send this link, like just copy that link and that they would get this.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay. That's great.
Yes. So as far as
Um,
like the power filters go though, I mean these are just really useful when you're recruiting. With this I just like to do a check. Let's just say I'm looking for a full stack engineer. We can apply it. These are just basically pre-built queries that we've created for Tech Talent. And then the one last thing in here is the coder score. Basically a 1 is just they're not, they haven't made that many contributions to GitHub, whereas if we're looking at a 4 or 5, they're going to be more of an expert master level.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got somebody solid there when you kind of get to this level.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, then all of the filters are here available here to the left.
And their emails are there because they have to be at some point in this.
Yep.
So with the acquisition of Microsoft buying GitHub, what's that going to do to this? Do you
That's
know?
a great question. We don't have any worries in that at all. Obviously the team here is Microsoft. We're Microsoft executives. If anything, this is Microsoft did that for a reason, and if anything, this is just supporting that. This won't affect us at all.
And you guys already have the info that you have now, so it's not like that goes away. You want the acquisition.
No, it doesn't. I mean, obviously, and we have a close relationship with Microsoft. So this is
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So pricing wise, I think you sent over to me an email of it, and I just wanted to be clear about
Yes.
the contacts and the pricing rates and.
Yeah, let me take you here to my pricing page. So for your organization, you're looking at our premium tech package to get the GitHub and the diversity filters and then the insights as well.
Mm-hmm.
So what this runs at, it's a little over $5,000 for the year. We do offer monthly subscriptions as well, but if you do an annual subscription, you're basically getting 2 months free. If for some reason, you wanted to sign up for the annual and you didn't use all of the months, we would just refund you for what you didn't use.
Got it. Okay.
But flexible. You're not locked into a contract or anything on that end.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm referring to get contact info for 500 candidates a month, this means that we're actually able to get you verified email addresses. So 500 people a month.
Yeah.
And then with exporting 5,000 profiles a month, you saw me do this export. So this is exporting each a profile, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. So that's just how the credits work. One thing we didn't go over Position Magnet today, but I can send you an article on that. I think you'd find interesting if you haven't used it already. And then we didn't go over creating campaigns also. And I don't know if this might probably not be too valuable to you, maybe just because you're working with your clients. But if I guess you ever kind of do your own campaigns, you can certainly use Seekout by just linking your email account. And then
definitely. That's definitely something we would be open to trying. Actually, can you hold on just 1 second? I get this on a call. I want to spend a little bit more time with you here. Let me see if I can. Let's see if I can check on my calendar. Okay, let me just see if I can Push this off for a second. Hold on.
No worries, thanks.
Hi, Christian. You connected with Christian Bogia on LinkedIn about an opportunity for a project management role. And yeah, and I run the practice. He thought it was worth us having a chat. But I've got another meeting here just ending. It should be over in about 5 minutes or so. Are you okay if I call you back in about 5-10 minutes? Okay, great. Okay, I'll call you back on this number. Okay, bye. Okay, sorry about that.
No worries.
Okay, yeah. So the 2 points that you hadn't walked me through that you want to, one was the campaigns, and what was the other one?
Position magnet.
Position mapping.
Magnet.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen this yet? So if we
No. Yeah, walk me through that. I'm just gonna
let's go back into here now, and then just want to clarify that when you are in the GitHub search, just the same thing. Adding people to a project, getting their contact information, and then being able to export that information.
Yeah.
Same process there. So let's get into Position Magnet. So this is a really interesting feature. So what this does, let's say that I'm curious about a specific company, and I want to look at a title too, and I'm trying to recruit for people. And this works really well if you want to recruit from a specific company and you want people that have the same characteristics and traits as someone that works at a company with a specific title.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just use Amazon, for example. And this works well for big companies, so not small companies.
Mm-hmm.
But let's say for Amazon that I want to hire someone that's a software engineer and they're going to have the same traits as a software engineer that works at Amazon. What this is now going to do, it's automatically going to build me a query of people that don't currently work at Amazon. They're not a software engineer there, but they actually have similar characteristics and traits based off of their public profile. So we can go over here and we can see, okay, what skills do they share? What were their prior companies, prior titles? So if you hover over this, we can see that 81% of people, working in the magnet position that we chose also put Java on their resume.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just interesting in that sense when you're sourcing people and want them to have, the same experience as a certain company and title, right? And then you can look down here and we can also be taken to people that, so with this person that we're looking at, these people have also made a move from software engineer at Google. They went over to software engineer at Amazon. And we can look at these people as well.
These people made the move from software engineer at Google to, okay.
So it's just an interesting feature that way. And then let's get into the messaging as well. So messaging you'll see up here. So you'll just link your email account here, and then all of your campaigns can live here. You can create a new campaign, and I can just show you this. But if we create a new one, we can just say, I'm just going to put test right now again and save. And then we'll add a step, and we'll just say, interview, op. In here, we can start writing the body, and we can insert fields here. So we can say, okay, we just want their first name, blah, 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 save. And then once we save this, you'll add another step, and we can actually put these people in a cadence now. So after the first email sends out, maybe we want the email to go out every 2 days, every 3 days. So maybe 2 days, and then we can say just following up, from last email. and then you put body in, right? And then save that. And then, you would just add all your steps that way. And then here, your summary, we can see how many candidates are in the campaign, how many messages have been sent, how many people have opened it, replied, how many have bounced as well. And then here, you would just click on Start Campaign. And I believe the first email just sends out in 20 minutes.
Got it.
And in order to run a campaign, your candidates need to be in a project.
Got it. Okay.
So just a nice way to keep organized that way too.
Yeah. So, and how many, so it's almost like a drip campaign, like you could send, like, and how many emails can you send out in accordance with the campaign?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I believe that it's, hold on, if I go to steps here, I believe, so we're giving you about 10 days intervals here.
Okay, and so you can basically just keep adding step up to 10 days?
Yeah.
So you could send out like 4 emails if you wanted to.
Right.
One after the other. And then where do you put the time allotment to send out the next one?
So with here, you'll just add the steps and then send after. So after step 3, we want it to send 3 days after step 3.
Got it. Okay. So you just send it out like in days, increments of days.
Yes, exactly.
Got it. Okay. That's cool. That's good to know. I like that.
Yeah.
And the emails go out in your email name and come back to your regular email?
Yeah. That's all linked up.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to pricing. That was a fee for each individual person that's going to use the system?
This is by user, yes.
Got it. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. Let me think about it. It's a little bit steep, but I see the value in it. It's just a little bit steep for us if we were to do it this year because we're kind of already like over budget for our systems. Mm-hmm. But let me think about it a little bit and then see what we can do if we can do
certainly. Yeah, and I mean I can maybe offer a discount in some sort, maybe like a 10% discount depending on how many people would be using it.
Yeah, got it. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. All right, well, let me do this. I know you've extended our trial a couple times, so I appreciate that. Though you extended it through, I think, today, or is it?
I can't remember. I will go ahead and look at it, and I'll just, I'll have you play around with this through the next week too, okay? So,
yeah, that'd be great. Because what I want to do is I want to try the insights, just see what that looks like in more detail, and then it just really helps because I haven't had the time to put as much into this as I'd like, and I certainly would want to try that to really kind of confirm what I think, but I also want to make sure. So yeah, that'd be great.
I totally agree with you. When would be, I guess, a good time for us to reconnect then?
Yeah. Let's see here. Why don't you, if you could set it up for a week, and then maybe like next Friday.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Next Friday, why don't we hop on a call just next Friday and just go over your experience and kind of see.
Yeah, and if there's anything else that you think that I should try that I haven't been aware that the system has, that'd be good to know as well. Yeah,
Jake, I'll send you a follow-up email today with just some useful resources that I think you'll find useful while you explore the tool.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be great. And just curious, any big name companies currently using the system?
Red Bull is, Lockheed Martin is, a small team over at Amazon. We're talking to Disney now. We're, speaking to a small team over with, Facebook and Uber. So yeah, quite a few. And do you know Raytheon at all?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're a big client of ours.
Is it more for the diversity side of the product or just in general, the search?
That's really the general search, but I mean the GitHub, the sourcing for tech talent is really a value to people.
That's the big one. Yeah, got it.
And then what makes us stand out also is just the people insights as well. And people just really like our UI design and feel like they can really implement this in their everyday workflow.
Yeah. And the founders, is this their full-time focus, or is this kind of like a side project?
No, this is their full-time focus now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool.
so yeah, we're about a team of 8 right now, and just growing. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Very cool. Well, I appreciate your time, and I'll follow back up. And again, appreciate you giving me the little extra time here to come.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions. Also, just wanted to point out that we have this messaging widget down here to the bottom right. And if you just have an immediate question or you're just having trouble with the search, we'll get back to you here within like 10 or 20 minutes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay, well, thanks so much, Jake. I'll send you a follow-up email later today, and just looking forward to reconnecting.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds
Okay,
good.
take care now. Bye.
Okay. See ya. Bye-bye.